Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 2, Text 1. Sri Badarayaner Uvacha Evam Te Bhagavan Duta Yamaduta Bibashitam Apadaryatha Tanrajan Pratyahur Naya Kovida. The noble Badarayane said, "Thus, the servants of the Supreme Personality, by the servants and messengers of death, what was spoken and heard then unto them, O King, reply properly, being conversant in good arguments or logic." Well, it's certainly important when you know something to say something, but when you don't know something, have the right reply then too. Text 2. Sri Vishnu Duta Uchu Aho Kashtam Dharma Darsam Adharma Sparsate Sabam Yatra Dandyashiv Apapeshu Dando Yair Dreyate Vartha. The noble messengers of the all-maintaining said how painful it is for people interested in maintaining religion to be affected by irreligion in the assembly wherein are persons that aren't to be punished, who are sinless, facing punishment, by whom it's being doled out unnecessarily. Text 3. Prajanam Vitaro Yecha Sastara Sadava Sammah Yadis Yat Teshu Vayashamyam Kamyante Saranam Praja. Of the citizens are guardians and they who give instructions about law and order, and those that are endowed with good qualities, treating all equally. If there is among them partiality, what will go to shelter of the citizens? Text 4. Yad yada charate sreyan itaras tat tad ihate sayat pramanam kurute lokastad anuvartate. Whatever is executed among a first-class person and the subordinate person, that they perform whatever is evidence as the right thing, that should be accepted by the world, and that is followed. So you follow things based on the evidence, not necessarily the personality. Of course, some personalities are the sent ones, so therefore the authority comes through them, but again, we accept who those are by evidence. Text 5 and 6. Yas yanke sevra adaya loka svapete nirvarta svayam dharmam adharmam vanahe vedayatha pasuh sakatham yarpitatmanam kartamaitram achetanam visrambaniyo bhutanam sangrano dogdum arhate. Of whose on the head or lap that are so placed among the world, asleep in peace, whether it's religious principles or the irreligious principles, are not, it's known that it's exactly like an animal that such a person is as this, unto the living entity who's fully surrendered, endowed with good faith and friendship, and undeveloped consciousness, the foolishness, deserving to be the object of faith, that the living entities who has a soft heart for the good people to give pain is able to. So this addresses the whole gospel prosperity thing because it says you can't discriminate between the right social order and the wrong social order based on, how certain reactions are, because there's peace and there's kind-heartedness and such. As we said before, to all. But that faith and friendship is shown. Text 7. Ayam he krita nirvaso janma kote amha samape yad vyajahara vivaso nama svaste ayanam hare. This person has undergone all kinds of atonements, and certainly millions of births for the sinful activities, even because he's chanted in a helpless way the holy name that is a means of liberation via the potency. Srila Visvanatha Chakravarti Thakur in the Smrta Sastra says, Namno heyavati sakte papa nirharane hare tavat kartum na saknote patakam pataki nara. By chanting the holy name, the sinful can counteract the reactions more so than the sins they're able to commit. Avasannape yannamne kirtete sarva patakaye puman vimuchyate sadya simha trastayir murgair iva. If one chants the holy name, even helplessly or without desire, all the reactions of their sins depart, just as when a lion roars, small animals flee. And that's from the Garuda Purana. The previous one was from the Brihad Vishnu Purana. Sakrandu charitam yenna hare eta akshara dvayam badda harkarastana mokshaya gamanam prate. And that's is from this Skanda Purana. By chanting the holy name with 2 syllables, one guarantees their way to liberation. Text 8. Etenna eva he angono sya kritam syaranga nishkritam yada narayana yate jangada chatur aksharam. By this, certainly those who have sinful reactions, of this they perform, and it is of those sins complete atonement when the what exactly does Narayana mean? Sort of like the Hindu version of the Fool card, right? Not in the system, but running the system, sort of transcendent yet active, sort of on the edge. Zepti in Lazuvama chants. So we chanted the 4 syllables. Narayana. So remember to... Well, it's offensive to chant, thinking that you're going to get atonement, and that's your whole purpose, that, you're going to continue your spiritual life rather than trying. Namno balad yasya he papa ude. Text 9 and 10. Stanna surapo mitra drug brahma haguru talpagah stri raja patar gohanta yecha pata keno pare sarveshamape angavatam idam eva sunishkritam nama vyaharanam vishnuryatas vishayamate. One who steals, a drunkard, one who turns against friend or relative, one who kills, one of the spiritual class, one who has sex with the wife of a teacher or spouse of a teacher, if these teachings are for multiple genders, right? The women on that side, the king and the father of cows that kills them, and those who committed sinful activities, and many others, all of them, although the persons have committed many sins, this is certainly perfect atonement. That's why animal slaughter is a ritual, right? And chanting the holy name of the all-maintaining, because of what's on the person who chants the name and his attention. Text 11. Naneshkartayar uditayar brahma vadibes tathaves sudyate agavan vrata dibbeh yathaharer nama padayar udahartais tarutamasloka gunopalam bakam. not by the process of atonement prescribed by the spiritual scholars. To that extent, they become purified. A sinful person, by observing the vows and regulative principles, as the divine potency, by the syllables of the holy name, chanted that of the supreme realm, of the modes that remind one of it. So you have to drop being a sinful person, because the scriptures and the names and all that and the ceremonies don't do things like good, and just, keeping in remembrance of God out of service. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Param Vajayata Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. All glories be to the noble, all attractive. And the chanting or singing is how we know this. Text 12. Naekante kam tande karte penish karte mana punar davate ched asat pathe tat karma nirharam abipsatam harer gunanduvada kalu sattva bhavana. It's not absolutely cleaning the heart, because although it's nicely performed as an atonement, the mind again runs off to the path of material activities. If it therefore ceases the fruitive reaction of material activities, because it seriously wants the supreme potency, will address this constant mode of glorifying, and certainly actually purify the existence. The Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2, Text 17 says, Sranvatam Savakatha Krishna Punya Sravana Kirtana Harde Anta Satohe Abhadrane Vidunote Suhrat Satam. This super soul in all the hearts gives out the is the benefactor, and is such for the truthful devotee, and it cleanses the desire of material enjoyment from their heart in those that are pleased with the message, those who are themselves virtuous, and who work to be properly heard, and who chant. Canto 5, Chapter 5, Text 1 has Tapo Divyam Kutraka Yana Sattvam Sudyat. One must perform austerity to purify their existence, to come to the spiritual platform. Text 13. Atainam mapanayata kratasashanga nishkritam yarasau bhagavan nama mreyamana samangrahit. Therefore, don't take what was done as unlimited atonement, because he who mentions the Supreme Personality while dying, as perfectly chanted, well, at least in this case, but it helps to practice. Text 14. Sankatyam pare hasyam va stubam helanam eva va ekunta namagrahanam asashanga haram vidu. As assigned jokingly are with musical entertainment, they neglect, certainly, of the higher spheres in the holy chanting that unlimitedly neutralizes the effect of the sinful life. And this is something that the advanced knowers know. Text 15. Patitas kaleto bhagna sandashtas tapta ahata harer ete avasena. Let me start it over. Avasana kumanarhate yatana. Having fallen down, slipped, as with broken bones, bitten, attacked by fever, and the like, injured, and thus one accidentally chants for the supreme potency. A person doesn't deserve hellish conditions. Text 16. Guru nam cha langu nam cha guru necha langu necha prayaschitane papanam jnat voktane maharshibbe. What's heavy and what's light also? What's heavy and what is light also? The process of atonement of the sinful activities by knowing perfectly well, as has been prescribed by the great sages. Okay, so if the deed was light, you can deal with it in a light way. If it was heavy, you can deal with it in a heavy way. Text 17. Taestane angane kruyante tapodana vrata dibbe na dharmajam tandardayam tad apisangre savaya. By all the sinful activities and results that become vanquished by austerity, charity, vows, and the like, not by what's produced from irreligious action of that of the heart, is also at the lotus feet of the controller by service. The Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 2, verse 42 has Bhakte Parasandubhavo Viraktir Anyatra Cha. Their devotional service is so powerful that one who performs it is freed from the sinful desire. because that's what you need to work on, not just the action, but that, the control system's important, but you need to work on the reward system as well. And that's what I mean by mesocortical and mesolimbic. Text 18. Ajnanadathava utammasloka nama yat sankirtitam mangam bumso daheredo yathanala. Out of ignorance or knowledge of the supreme of the world, the holy name is that which is chanted. The sins of a person burned to ash as dried grass is by fire. Text 19. Yathagatam viryatamam upayuktam yarachaya ajanatope atmagunam kuryan mandrape udahrta. Just like medicine is very powerful when properly taken, somehow or other a person without knowledge, even a potent one, manifests the chant, they also chant. Text 20. Sri Sukha Uvacha Taevam Suvinirniya Dharmam Bhagavatam Darpa Tam Tam Yapasan Nirmucha Vipram Mrityoramvumuchan. The noble Sukha said that they are thus perfectly concluding about the real religion and the terms of the personality of God. O King, he, from the bondage of the order carriers of death, was released from death and rescued due to the priestliness, or as a priestly individual he was released. Text 21. Ete pradyudeta yamya duta yatva yamantekam yama rajne yatha sarvam achachakshur arandama. Thus, having been replied to by the order carriers, the servants of death, the messengers were going to the abode of death, and unto the king, Yamaraj. Well, Yamaraj is Yama the king. Anyway, and they were informed of everything in time, in detail. O subduer of enemies.